Alaska is an eagle that I want to fly across the sea of castles, reaching for the sky. Alaska is the part of me left unexplored. Alaska is the warming sun on a misty fjord. She is the mystery that I will never tame. She is Alaska, Alaska. Alaska is her name. Alaska is a story that my father told of swift rivers running with salmon and gold. Alaska is so many things I've never known. Alaska is the great land calling me home. She is the mystery that I will never tame.
Once you go to Alaska, you never come all the way back, because the impressions made in Alaska stay with you long after your travels end. Enjoying a trip to Alaska is like any other trip. It depends largely on how you choose to travel. I think the only sensible choice is West Tours. West Tours Alaska is spectacular.
Alaska, Alaska is her name.
Not only does West Tours know Alaska, you might say they own part of it. They own their own cruise ships, many have their own hotels, their own motor coaches, and they have the largest staff in the largest state. What's your pleasure? A relaxing cruise? One-way or round trip through the beauty of northern waters? You've got it. If you want to combine a land tour with your cruise, West Tours does it best. Do you want to travel 3 days or 3 weeks? Escorted tours, air tours. West Tours has over 30 different itineraries and combinations of ways to go and places to see. Whether you choose a cruise or a cruise tour, you'll sail on one of 3 great Holland America ocean liners, ships designed with a feeling of space and roominess. You can choose the beautiful New Amsterdam, the flagship Rotterdam, or the classic Noordam, elegant ocean liners that make cruising a special pleasure. A travel writer recently referred to these ships as self-assured ladies, women of the world who know what they are and where they're going. Ships of style and class, with a collector's eye for antiques and gracious surroundings. The use of fine fabrics and beautiful woods create a mood of elegance throughout. You'll discover, too, that a deluxe stateroom on a Holland America ocean liner feels more like a luxury hotel room, with an air of spaciousness other ships just don't have. From the largest to the smallest, Holland America offers luxurious staterooms. On our ships, you can move about. You see, we believe a cruise should be a rewarding experience, and our ocean liners reflect this, inside or out. This is the promenade deck of the Noordam. This is the sports deck. Other ships going to Alaska don't give you views like this because they don't have decks like this. Decks that let you walk completely around the ship, taking in all there is to see.
Good.
There's plenty of room to have fun, too. On deck and throughout the ship, there's always a great choice of things to do.
Yeah, I really enjoy the country club atmosphere. You almost forget you're on a ship until you look out and you see the glaciers going by you, and just about any sport you want to on this thing. It's unbelievable.
If you'd like to take a break from exercising and do a little shopping on board, you'll find a variety of shops with a dazzling selection of things to buy.
Well, I probably enjoyed time spent browsing in the shops as much as anything else, next to eating, of course.
On a Holland America cruise, we want you to be comfortable. As any good traveler knows, being comfortable can mean a time to be casual, even when it's time to dine. The Lido Buffet will tempt you with a delicious variety of foods in an informal atmosphere.
It was always so good. We hadn't really experienced anything like that before. The food was just always presented so beautifully, and it looked as good as it tasted.
Having the chance to sit down and enjoy a fine meal is a real pleasure. Elegant foods, fine wines.
If you feel like being a little more formal, that can be comfortable too. A table in the main dining room is the perfect setting for superb cuisine and excellent service. The critics agree that dining with us is special. They've honored our chefs with membership in the Confrérie de la Chaîne de Rôtisseurs, a society for only the most gifted chefs of the world. Holland America's great variety of pleasures goes on into the night. If you like dancing to a big band, try the main lounge. If a quiet piano calls to you, you'll find it here in one of our intimate lounges.
To get away from it all. That's probably why we take a cruise. It's a very rewarding way to spend a week.
Of course, everybody's in a good mood, a festive mood, and prepared to have a good time.
If up-tempo is your beat, dance in the disco. You may want to try your luck with a turn of a card or a turn of the wheel. Or maybe you feel like watching a lively Broadway review. If you do, grab an aisle seat. Whatever your pleasures, we do our best to make them perfect. The great ocean liners of Holland America are stable, smooth-sailing ships. On the bridge, the most sophisticated electronic navigational equipment pinpoints course and location. Dutch officers have a no-nonsense attitude about safety and seamanship. Your cruise to Alaska on one of these ocean liners is a time to relax, to travel along the beautiful inside passage to the picturesque towns and villages of Alaska's spectacular coastline. Round-trip cruises on Holland America ocean liners begin at Vancouver and move along the rugged coast of Canada past Prince Rupert and into Alaska through the inside passage with calls at Ketchikan, Juneau, Glacier Bay, Sitka, and return to Vancouver. Vancouver is a special city, a blending of many cultures. Its Chinatown is the largest north of San Francisco. Its parks rival most any city in the world. The beaches of English Bay, the natural beauty of Stanley Park, and towering Lions Gate Bridge set against rugged mountains make Vancouver a memorable port to begin or end your visit to Alaska.
As we started north out of Vancouver, the excitement in the crowd was electric.
Once you depart Vancouver, the majesty of the great Northwest surrounds you. You cruise the waters inside Vancouver Island, and then move into one of the most spectacular parts of your trip, the wonders of the Canadian Inside Passage, one of the most scenic waterways in the world. Here, you'll see ships of most every style, size, and shape, from giant ocean liners to rugged little fishing boats. Your first port of call is Ketchikan, Alaska's southernmost port city. At Ketchikan, just as in each port you'll visit, Holland America allows time for you to take in all the sights and color of these charming places. We plan our route so there's ample time to take side trips out of the cities as well. From Ketchikan, you can visit historic Totem Bight State Park and walk to an ancient Indian campsite in a forest of totem poles. Another choice out of Ketchikan is to fly to tranquil places like Tracy Arm or the quiet icy blue of Misty Fjords National Monument. From Ketchikan, you sail north, a time now to relax and enjoy life aboard ship. You're surrounded by the spectacular natural beauty of the Inside Passage, where snow-capped mountains reach down to water's edge. There's time, too, to plan shore excursions for your next port of call. Welcome to Juneau, Alaska's capital. You'll love Juneau and her people. You'll also love the West Tours people you meet here and everywhere else you go in Alaska. They've been guiding visitors to Alaska longer than anyone, and since they live here, they know the towns well. They know the best time of day to visit special places. There are more than 1,000 friendly West Tours people to help make your visit a personal memory. Juneau is a city of heritage that invites exploration. Visit the Governor's Mansion and the Alaska State Museum. Take time for a salmon bake where fresh Alaska salmon is cooked over open wood fires. Feeling adventurous? Take a ride on the river. Or perhaps you'd like a tour of the Mendenhall Glacier at the foot of the Juneau ice field. With every spectacular discovery, you'll realize how much more of Alaska you see when you travel with us. Sailing out of Juneau, you come upon breathtaking Glacier Bay. You look out on the stillness and grandeur of this 500-square-mile monument, the largest collection of tidewater glaciers anywhere.
Everything that I had heard about Alaska was true.
It was just magnificent.
Unlike many other Alaska cruises, all Holland America round-trip cruises visit Glacier Bay. Glacier Bay is also the summer feeding ground for humpback whales, another wonder of nature here in spectacular Alaska.
Alaska calls my name.
No, this isn't Moscow. This is Sitka, once the capital of Alaska, your next port of call. Sitka loves her Russian heritage, and so will you. Once, Sitka was the center of a Russian fur trading empire that reigned for over 100 years. When you visit Sitka today, you stand on the site where the Russian-U.S. Purchase Exchange was made in 1867. Now you've seen the famous ports of call of Alaska and had a glimpse of memorable side trips, but there's more to Alaska than meets the water.
Now, let me show you how to combine the spectacle of cruising with the spectacular beauty of all of Alaska.
Tours that let you see as much of this great land as you want. You know, we offer more different itineraries than anyone else. You can choose tours that include Canada's fabled Yukon Gold Rush territory, tours that explore the interior of Alaska and include the scenic wonders of Denali National Park. You can go above the Arctic Circle to Nome and Kotzebue, or travel to the top of the world at Point Barrow. In Alaska, we can make just about anything possible. Let's say you begin your tour here in Juneau. You've already seen Vancouver and Ketchikan on the cruise leg of your trip. Now comes inland Alaska. Step aboard our own special day boat, the Fairweather, for a cruise through the beauty of the Lynn Canal. Most other cruise ships pass through this spectacular 100-mile waterway at night. Our day boat, the Fairweather, was designed to sail the waters of the Lynn Canal in bright sunlight, so we can bring this great spectacle up close. The Lynn Canal is the natural home to a variety of wildlife, including sea lions, whales, and eagles. We take you so close to nature, you can almost reach out and touch it.
Well, ladies, we're nearing the end of our journey. On our right, we have the city of Skagway. That's the city was made.
The tranquil beauty of the Lynn Canal is a surprising contrast to the rowdy gold rush mood of Skagway. 100 years ago, Skagway was the jumping-off place for the Yukon, a vigorous town of boardwalk streets and noisy saloons. You still feel the spirit of the Klondike here today. After leaving Skagway, you'll travel over Chillicote Pass, heading toward the Yukon Territory. Now you're in the fabled Gold Rush country, and from one of our comfortable motor coaches, you gaze out picture windows at mountain roads and wide valleys. Alaska is big. It covers more land than Switzerland, France, Germany, Italy, and Belgium combined. To suggest you can get the real flavor of this great land without touring inland is like saying you can see all of Italy from the harbor at Naples. Here we are in the rip-roaring Yukon Territory, home to colorful towns like Whitehorse and Dawson City. This is the land of Sam McGee, where echoes of Gold Rush days still ring. If you ask a local to recommend the best restaurant in town, you'll probably end up here. This is Charlie's at the Klondike Inn in Whitehorse. Most of the best restaurants in Alaska are located in hotels we own. That's one more good reason to travel with us. Leaving the Yukon Territory, you'll cross the mighty Yukon River and pass through rugged countryside on your way to the city of Fairbanks. Fairbanks is home to riverboats, classic stern-wheelers that ply the waters of the Chena and Tanana rivers.
What a wonderful way to see the countryside and get back off the beaten path. I'm already thinking about doing it again next year.
Fairbanks is a city of contrasts, where you can visit the historic Malamute Saloon, then turn a corner and travel along that miracle of modern engineering, the Trans-Alaska Pipeline.
The Trans-Alaska Pipeline was the largest privately financed project in the history of the United States. And what they finally came out with when they completed it in 1977 was almost 800 miles stretching from the oil-rich fields in Prudhoe Bay all the way down to the ice-free terminal in Valdez where it's loaded onto tanks.
Fairbanks is also home to the University of Alaska Museum with its treasures of natural history and exhibits of million-dollar gold strikes. After your Fairbanks visit, you move out into the countryside again. What could be more glorious than your first glimpse of Denali National Park? Here, wildlife, flowers, and lush scenery spread across nearly 2 million acres of unbelievable outdoor beauty. You'll see the grandeur of Mount McKinley rising more than 20,000 feet along the northern tier of the Alaska Range. The incredible scenery and abundant wildlife of this area make Denali one of the world's greatest nature walks. There seems to be an abundance of everything as you continue your tour through the lush Matanuska Valley. Here, the sun may shine nearly 24 hours a day during some seasons, forcing lush harvests of fruits and vegetables. Your tour of Alaska is one of constant superlatives. Images change, nature surprises, the old and new mingle in shifting contrasts. Anchorage is your next stop. It's a modern city by any standards. Anchorage has become a center of commerce and a major West Coast city. From Anchorage, we offer you a choice of places to visit. You can travel to the port of Valdez, called the Switzerland of Alaska. Here, you can board the Glacier Queen and sail the waters of Prince William Sound for a close-up look at Columbia Glacier. A 200-foot high wall of ice over 3 miles wide and thousands of years old. You'll also visit Portage Glacier with its floating icebergs and ride a chairlift for a scenic view of the beauty that surrounds the Alyeska Ski Resort. Anchorage can also be your port of departure for a tour beyond the Arctic Circle to the cities of Kotzebue and Nome. Here in the magic of the land of the midnight sun, you'll discover the native spirit of the great land.
Alaska is an eagle that I want to fly across the sea of castles, reaching for the sky. Alaska is the part of me left unexplored. Alaska is the warming sun on a misty fjord. She is the mystery that I will never tame. She is
Once you go to Alaska, you never come all the way back. I know. Alaska's not only the last frontier, but it's also your first great adventure. Let West Tours make your Alaska spectacular. Remember, no one else does it quite like West Tours.